I take the venture, and so back to sleep." By this the stranger had at last become tired of long waiting, and of sitting dumb upon his charger; so with greenest leer he vented his impatience in a sneer. "Is this," he said, "the glorious Table Round? And is its glory naught but empty sound? Braggarts! I put your bluster to the test, And find you quail before a merry jest." Then the great king himself stood up in ire, With clenched hand raised, and eyes that gleamed dark fire, And fronting the Green Knight he cried, "Forbear! For by my sword Excalibur I swear, Whate'er thou be, thou shalt not carry hence Unscathed the memory of thine insolence. Such jests as thine please not; yet even so I take thine axe; kneel thou, and take my blow." Across the Green Knight's features there was seen To pass a fleeting shade of deeper green, Whether of disappointment or resentment None knew; but straight a smile of bright contentment Followed, as through the throng of dazed beholders He saw Sir Gawayne thrust his sturdy shoulders. The stranger winked at Elfinhart once more, Well pleased, and Gawayne knelt down on the floor. "A boon," he cried, "a boon, my lord and king! If ever yet in any little thing These hands have served thee, hear my last request: Let me adventure this mad monster's jest." King Arthur shook his head in dumb denial, Loth to withdraw his own hand from the trial, And leave the vengeance that himself had vowed; But all the people called to him aloud, "Sir Gawayne! Let Sir Gawayne strike the blow!" And Guinevere the queen besought him low To leave this venture to the lesser man. He yielded, and the merry jest began. The visitor, dismounting, made a bow To Arthur, then to all the court. "And now," said he to Gawayne, "wheresoever you choose to strike your blow, Strike on; I'll not refuse, head, shoulders, chest, or waist. Ay, little reck, where shall it be?" Quoth Gawayne, "In the neck." So Gawayne took the axe; the stranger knelt Before him on the hearth and loosed his belt, And threw back his green cassock and his hood, To give his foe the fairest mark he could. Then thus to Gawayne: "Ready; but remember To come the 25th of next December, And take from me the selfsame stroke again." "And where," asked Gawayne, "may I find you then?" "We'll speak of that, please, when you've struck your blow; For if I can't speak, then you need not go." He chuckled softly to himself, then turned And waited for the blow, all unconcerned. Not so the knights and ladies of the court; They pushed and craned their necks to see the sport, Not from the lust of blood, for few expected To see blood shed, or the Green Knight dissected, But knowing that some marvel was in store, Unparalleled in all Arthurian lore, And fairly filled with wide eyed wonderment. But Lady Elfinhart stayed not; she went Into the alcove where we saw her first, And laid her sweet face in her arms, and burst Into, but none could tell, unless by peeping, Whether she shook with laughter or with weeping. And Gawayne rubbed his arms, his chest he beat, Then grasped the battle axe and braced his feet, And swung the ponderous weapon high in air, And brought it down like lightning, fair and square, Upon the stranger's neck. The axe flashed through, Cutting the Green Knight cleanly right in two, And split the hard stone floor like kindling wood. The head dropped off; out gushed the thick hot blood, Like I can't find the simile I want, but let us say a flood of creme de menthe. And then the warriors standing round about Sent up from 50 throats a mighty shout, As when o'er blood sprent fields the long cheers roll, Cacophonous for him who kicks a goal. "O Gawayne! Well done, Gawayne!" they all cried; But straight the tumult and the shouting died, And deadly pallor overspread each face, For the knight's body stood up in its place, And stepping nimbly forward, seized the head That lay still on the hearthstone, seeming dead, Then vaulted lightly with a careless air Back to the saddle of his grass green mare. He held the head up, and behold, it spoke: "My congratulations on that stroke, Sir Gawayne! It was delicately done; Our merry little jest is well begun. But look you fail me not this day next year, At the green chapel by the murmuring mere. I will await you when the sun sinks low, And pay you back full measure, blow for blow." He wheeled about, the doors flew wide once more, The mare's hoofs struck green sparkles from the floor, And with a whirring flash of emerald light Both horse and rider vanished in the night. Then all the lords and ladies rubbed their eyes, And slowly roused themselves from dumb surprise. The great hall echoed once more with the clatter Of laughing men's and frightened women's chatter. But Gawayne, with the axe in hand, stood still, Heedless of what was passing, with no will For life or death; for all that made life dear Was fled like summer when the leaves fall sere. And Arthur spoke, misreading Gawayne's thought: "Heaven send we have not all too dearly bought Our evening's pastime, Gawayne! You have done As fits a fearless knight, and nobly won. Our thanks in equal measure with our praise Be both remembered in the after days." So spoke the king, and, to confirm his words, From far away in the deep night was heard Once more the fairy horn call, clear and shrill. It died upon the wind, and all was still. The hour was late. King Arthur rising said Good night to all his court, and went to bed. Canto 1.